Yeah, 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 yeah.
All the smoke. That's what he wants. All the smoke.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ah,
Welcome to the show, fellas.
What up? What
yeah,
up? What
yeah.
up?
What's up?
All right. So quick thing, right? We've been trying to not drink as much coffee lately. Okay, not trying to at all. So I've been drinking these yogi teas. You guys drink that stuff?
Who is it?
Yogi teas.
No, sir.
I
No.
don't know. Basically, it's good mood tea. I guess it makes me a nice person. But here's the thing. They have little sayings on the teas, right? So the one that I have today says, "We all want to be understood, to be acknowledged, and to be loved." Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
Very true.
Very true. So that goes right into we're here today. It's Thursday. What's going on, everybody? We're glad that you're
What's
here.
up, Jen
We love
Lee?
you. There we go. So how's y'all's week been?
It's been pretty good. I've been just working and trying to navigate these allergies that Houston's throwing at me.
For sure. Well,
What's
I'm
up,
sorry.
home for us at Rupp?
yeah. I'm excited to be here. I missed last week. We went to see Zach Brown play at the rodeo. That was a pretty good concert, but I'm excited to be back today because we get to talk to some cool people. I get to hang out with you guys, and I get to see everybody. And there you go. That picture is for Julie Willis, by the way.
Yeah, that's for Julie and David, right?
Yeah. For sure.
That's Matt and Becky doing their thing down at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Al's UA, or AWOL, as they say it in the Army.
Again?
I don't know. He's not here.
How does this keep happening? I'm just kidding.
We lost Al. We're going to have to go on another adventure to find him.
Yeah,
We
you
got
gotta
the
get
golf
that
cart.
golf cart and get him right. That golf cart, he needs another, he needs some more tea.
He needs some more tea.
He needs some more tea. And he'll be back.
Go hard or don't leave the house. Oh, yeah, we'll see. That's probably what happened.
That's the hero mindset right there.
Well, we've been having some pretty crazy weather, man. I just here recently, man. Like it got crazy pretty quick. But
Yeah.
It did.
so you guys are all good. Nobody's underneath the water. Nobody's flooded and none of that good stuff, right?
No,
Not yet.
it's raining pretty hard, and everything was flickering a minute ago, but it seems to be okay now.
Oh, okay. What's up, everybody in the place? This is DJ Real T, your man Matt J, and your man T.Y. Cobb. We miss it, our hero right now. He may pop in, he may not, but you are tuned in to the Triple Threat Vet podcast. I want to say hey to everybody. Glad that you join in. I see David is in, Mr. Willis is in, his wife is in, Jen is in, Morgan is in, you know, the usual that come in on time is in. And you guys who are watching, if you can hear my voice, then that means you're on time and you are in. And we want to welcome you because this is another episode of the Triple Threat Vet podcast. I'm happy to be alive, happy to be with my brothers, and happy to have our guests that have chose to come and join us today. So I just wanted to introduce us and just say hello to you all and wish you guys a happy week. That's all I wanted to do. Back to you, T.Y.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say something too. We had Dusty Rudd on last week, and he gave us kind of an update on what's going on with his psychedelics and his treatment for PTSD. So some of the comments that we've been getting on the social media, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. We do not promote recreational drug use. I'm not just trying to find some new drug to use. And actually, after hearing a lot of these testimonies about people that have used ayahuasca or 5-EAO DMT or whatever it's called, like I don't think I need that. I'll just stick with therapy. But I do appreciate all the things and them sharing with us. But we're not trying to just, everybody's trying to offer all kinds of things on the social medias, and I'm like, no,
all kind of healing mechanisms.
Yeah, I don't need all that, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah. But you know,
we like to be live from our homes, not
right.
From small rooms. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so for the record, we do not condone or endorse any outside recreational drugs or any of those things of the sort. Yeah. However, if you choose to do them on your own, then hey, more power to you. Hope it do what it do you, but that's not what we are.
No judgment zone there.
Yeah.
So Blake, here's the deal.
What you got?
We came on today. I was talking to Ty, and I had told him the same thing I put in the text early in the week. You know, we're doing that March Madness bracket, right?
Yeah.
Don't ask me how, bro, but I'm at like 97% right now.
Hey, don't ask me how. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. I have no idea what I did in the bracket. I have no idea who's in the bracket. I didn't know what I was doing. This is my first official bracket, so I'm pretty sure that I'm going to lose very badly because I don't know. I normally don't even watch it until the very end.
Man,
Yeah, but
I've
it's
been
cool to
doing
pick the
brackets
teams.
since I was 5 years old, and
here we
my
go.
bracket is already broke. It's already broke. I mean, look at all that red on there already. It's already broke. And Kentucky's losing right now.
Uh-oh.
With 7 minutes left in the second half. The freaking
How are we going to have Kentucky play A&M later in the tournament if your boys can't win?
It ain't going to happen, man. It's not looking too good.
Well, how are they losing? Are they losing bad or are they just losing?
They're losing by 5 with 7 minutes left.
Five points in the basketball game. That's nothing, man.
They'll be okay.
They're
going to come back.
They're losing by 2 now. Okay, there we go. They just hit 3.
Ty's going to have a whole bunch of ups
I'm
and
going to be
downs
distracted
for the rest of the podcast. He's going to remind us of your boy, who was that, Daniel Street. You were like, hey, bro, are you watching the football
Yeah,
game?
you can say he's looking at
He was watching the game. Yeah, I can see it. I
like
can see him. Right. Yeah.
My final 4. This is for you, Morgan. I got UConn, North Carolina, UK, and Purdue.
Don't ask me.
See, I got in my final 4. Of course, I got UK winning.
Let's see if I can find the final 4 on this phone. I finally figured out how to look at the bracket.
I don't know. I was going to get some training from you guys on that because I have no idea what's going on. I could be winning and I have no idea because, like I said, I went on there because I saw it. I didn't want to be late, so I just picked the higher teams to win, and I think that's how I did it because it was 2 options. So fill it out yourself or go with the higher team to win.
Mr. Chalk.
Yeah, so we're going to prime it on out.
What's up, Kevin? Kevin Cash. I had one of my cousin was talking about your episode, Kevin, when you were on a couple weeks ago. He really enjoyed it. Loved what you were talking about. He's a firefighter in Bastrop, the city of Bastrop. So he really enjoyed what you were talking about. So appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, probably loved the beard.
So check this out.
Everybody loved the beard.
Yeah, I love the beard. Check these glasses out, man. So look, check these out. I'm tell you about these here. So, I wear the shades for the podcast because, my migraines be cutting up. So the light migraine kind of gets bad. So I went to the doctor and I told the doctor, my eye doctor, he's like, hey, bro, I can get you some sunglasses that are prescription so that you can see. So now I can see you guys. Like I can see the words on the thing. I'm happy, man. And I got my shades on. So there you go. So I just wanted to just say shout out to Dr. Overman, my visionary doctor.
You podcast blind? Is that what you're saying?
Well, kind of like, that's why like sometimes when I read the comments, I'm like, I think that says Morgan. It could say Megan because I can't tell the O and the E because the words are kind of small, but now I can actually see. So see, like I just seen Amber just said, how's everyone doing? But now I can see, even though it's like I can't see. So I believe Stevie Wonder can see. Now that I got these days on.
Yeah.
I think
New Year's Day.
I think.
So speaking of some training that we're going to need, I do have something to say though. I don't remember you wearing glasses the other night when we were driving back at like midnight from the rodeo.
I can feel my way home. I felt it.
I got you. You know these roads. You know these roads.
Yeah, I know these roads. I felt it.
He got
speaking of some training,
Dodge.
I want to talk about some vehicle training, some racing training, some pit crew racing. Getting into the thick of it with racing and competition. So what do you say we bring on our guest real quick?
Hell yeah, dude. Are they giving away a car? Do we get to get a car today?
That's what I said. If the podcast goes well, they said they may give away a car.
Now listen,
no, I don't think so.
You say when you say in racing, man, like you got before you just gonna pop them in like that. Like you got to help me out, man. Look, all right. Look, for the record here, I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, and don't take this the wrong way. I'm the only brother on the podcast, and I didn't eat today, so I'm eating some chicken. So if y'all see me eating some chicken, this is not planned. I love chicken, and I do have some chicken. So that I'm just letting you know that. So
I'm from Corbin, Kentucky, so I'm genetically predisposed to loving chicken.
But what was I can't remember the movie right now. It just escapes me where the guy was like, chicken. We like chicken because chicken tastes good. Chicken's delicious.
Chicken's delicious, man.
I gotta know what that is now.
So
I know I can't remember the movie though.
So Todd, you gotta give me something like, okay, so We got some racing, but this ain't just these ain't just racers. They're special, right? Like, are these veteran racers?
They're veteran racers.
Oh,
You don't have to have any experience. They'll
all
train you from no experience. They'll get you on there, whatever your ability or disability may be. They're going to get you in a car
right.
behind a wrench.
Ooh.
They're going to make it do what it do. Yeah, it's I'm excited. I've been involved with Veteran Motorsports out of Ohio, and they've got some stuff here in Houston. And Berto is part of Veteran Motorsports. So anything that we can do to get veterans out, and whether it's playing music, whether it's driving a car, whether it's, whatever it may be, go ride a bull, eat some chicken.
There you go.
I want to do it.
All right. Well, hey, that sounds good to me.
If Jamie Foxx and Stevie had a son, that'd be you. Look, that's
what
Moore said.
That's funny, man. So I go to the rodeo. I have my cowboy hat on. I thought I was fly. The guy says, "Hey, man." And he was looking, I was like, well, he's like, man, oh, no, that's not you. He's like, you know who you look like? I'm like, man, you look like Jamie Foxx. So the other guy that was working, he's like, hey, man, don't he look like Jamie Foxx? And the guy's like, boy, get out of here. Stop. You're doing too much. He's like, man, go ahead. But yeah, I get all kind of weird stuff like that.
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 people coming up to you. Hey, aren't you? And you're like, no.
But one day, hopefully that's going to be true. They're going to be like, man, ain't you DJ Royalty? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. What's going on?
Right.
Come here, little kid.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
But it's all
so, Scott, here we go. So they teach you. You get to learn how to do it. And all you got to remember is I want to go fast. That's it.
Okay.
I want to go fast.
And if you're not first, you're last.
Exactly. I lived my whole life on that.
There it is.
All right, let's bring them on. Mr. Ed McLean, 10-year Air Force veteran, and Miss Tana P. And she was a Navy corpsman. I don't know exactly how long she was in, but let's bring them in and find out.
Hey, so hello.
You forgot one though. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. Shake and bake. If you smell that crispy sound coming from your tailpipe, yeah, let's go. That's the best.
Well, how are you two doing? Thank you for coming. Welcome to the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. Hopefully, you guys have seen the show once or twice as nice. But I hope you guys are ready for what you're in for, because you're in for what you're in for. But you're in here, so we're happy that you're in here. So talk to us. What's going on, Ed and Tana? How you doing?
Oh, doing really, really good tonight, and I thank you very much for having us. I think it's awesome that you got Tana on here with me. I think we're going to have a very spirited discussion, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah,
for sure. We'll get into it.
Absolutely.
So, Ed, why don't you start off and tell us a little bit about where you're from and your military service?
Okay, yeah. I grew up in Maine. So I guess you can call me a maniac. They like to call me. And back in 91, I actually was going in 90, I was in college, going through getting ready to become a lawyer, and kind of ran out of funds. I'd been spending a lot of time with the Civil Air Patrol and that kind of thing, so I kind of knew what the Air Force was about. And so I ended up taking the plunge, but was stupid enough to listen to a recruiter who said it was easier to get a commission from the inside. I really took that one hook, line, and sinker. And so I enlisted and ended up becoming a linguist. And went through all the training and everything, ended up in Monterey at the DLI out there, learning the language, which was kind of another funny thing. Anyways, I had studied French since like 7th grade all the way through college and everything. So I get down to basic, and of course the first thing they do is tell me that I'm going to go learn Spanish. There's no way you can find any Spanish speakers in the U.S. So went through DLI, and the instructors are complaining because I'm speaking Spanish with a French accent. But at any rate, ended up going through the program and everything, and ended up out in Nebraska with the 55th out there as an airborne cryptologic linguist. Did a little bit of SIGINT in there as well. Did that for 5 years, then did bootstrap. It really, being a linguist kind of changed my direction in life. I had planned to go and become a lawyer. I wanted to become a lawyer since I was like 10 years old. Went in, became a linguist, and I enjoyed that job so much that I wanted to continue on, but I wanted to be able to like lead linguists. And of course, I got my commission and never went back to dealing with linguists at all because that's just the way the military works.
Yeah.
Uh,
So real quick though, you said that the recruiter told you it was easier to get a commission in than out, right? And
Yeah.
and the recruiter pulled a fast one on you. I swear to God, that's the first time I've ever heard that an Air Force recruiter had to pull a fast one on somebody because they were never at work when I was working. They were gone all year. Like they made their 4 for the year and they were done.
Yeah,
So it must have been hard times back then.
yeah. But it's really stupid to think that. But at any rate, got my commission, became an intel officer. It turned out to be pretty cool. I ended up at Mountain Home Air Force Base. That's the expeditionary wing, or what was the expeditionary wing. So you had the F-15C, F-15E, B-1 bombers. You had tankers. You had the Wild Weasels up there, F-16s, and so I got to work with all the different organizations because I ended up being in kind of a catch-all position where I got trained on all the different squadrons as everyone's backup, basically.
Yeah. So do you feel like becoming a linguist was are you happy that happened? Because it sounds like you had a good time with it and you liked it. So if you had to do it all over again, would you do it the same or would you try to go in as a lawyer?
Oh, actually, yeah, I would do it the same because I ended up, because of being a linguist, I actually ended up, after Mountain Home, I ended up going down to Lackland, down in San Antonio, and worked at the Inter-American Air Forces Academy and ended up being an instructor on podium speaking in Spanish to Central and South Americans, which was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
See, so the recruiter actually didn't lie. The recruiter didn't.
Yeah.
He just didn't. He didn't. What you thought was going to be easier, it just didn't seem easier to you. But he told you because you became an officer, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you just didn't know that you was going to have to speak Spanish to do it. That's the only thing. He didn't want to tell you that. If he would have told you, in order for you to be an officer, you was going to have to learn Spanish, you would have been like, oh hell no, bro, I'm not doing that. So he told it to you, right? It just was the pathway to get it. Just didn't seem easy to you. I got you. Yeah. I use that one all the time. Hey man, look, if you get inside, there's fewer people inside that could be an officer. So the chance of you being an officer is a little bit higher inside. Outside, there's a whole bunch of people going to college, So yeah, that sounds about right. He did you right. The dream came true.
And actually, I feel really good having been enlisted and then became an officer because I really did not know how to lead until I was enlisted.
Go.
I needed to be, I really feel like I needed to be at least for me, I needed to be at that level to understand what it was like to be, nobody, know nothing, and understand what that was like so that when I got my commission, I was a better officer.
You can relate. There you go. You can relate, right? Because you think about it. You come in as an officer and you just got all this education, but you have no, you have no real knowledge of how things started, right? So it's kind of you're seeing it from a different realm. But yeah, so he told you right. It was easier for you in the long run because I'll tell you, some people who came in as officers, even though they got into the program easier, it might have been rougher for them once they got in because trying to relate to somebody who I know only has book knowledge but no ship knowledge, I don't really want to talk to you too much because when I need to get the job done, I need you to understand, like, we're down here on the deck place knocking this stuff out. I know your nice air-conditioned quarters you got up there. You're trying to tell us what to do. Just go down there and talk to him and ask, no, that's not going to work, ma'am or sir. We need a deal. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was he stirred you right, Ed. Looking back at it, you might not have felt it, but he stirred you right.
So I think that Tana, you probably had the same kind of experience. We were talking a little bit before we came on. Yours wasn't quite like that, but the recruiter, it was the opposite. So why don't you Now, you give us your story, like going in, and a little bit about your career.
Give us the real, Tana. Give us the real. The recruiter.
Oh, of course, always. So is it going to be pretty? No.
No, give us the real deal. Zoom her up. I want to see it.
So I was all set. I was on track. I received a scholarship to go to Texas Tech for swimming, and I turned it down for a boy.
Oh.
And less than a month later, I was just absolutely regretting it. I didn't know what I was going to do. All of that, and a coworker came in. I was a lifeguard. I was teaching swim lessons and stuff, and he came in and he was so excited. He's like, "I joined the Navy," and I always wanted to be a pediatrician. So he was like, "You should go talk to the recruiter. You can be a corpsman, you know, and then they'll pay for you to go to school and you can get your doctorate." No.
Yeah.
So I walked down after my shift was over. I didn't have anything else to do. I had no better prospects. I had really, shot myself in the foot. So I walked into the Navy recruiter's office with my whistle, my lifeguard t-shirt, and swimsuit and flip-flops.
Wow.
And I sat down in AO2 Avery's chair and I said, "I want to be a corpsman." And he said, "Whoa." There's a lot of things you have to do before that.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, well, let's go. So I went and I took my ASVAB. I scored really well.
I knew that. I was going to say, you ace that ASVAB. I can already tell. Like, see, from being a recruiter for so long, when somebody comes in, I already know. You would have came in the door, I'm like, that's mine. Hey, y'all don't even worry about it. That's me right there. That's gold for me right there.
Yeah, he was. I think I shocked him. He was squared away. He had his taps on his shoes. Boy, he was all shiny and everything. Yeah. And for messy old hot mess me to come and sit in his chair, threw him for a loop. And then I think I got him again on that way back. Whenever I raised my hand right after that, and I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I signed a contract. I will be a corpsman. I will, do 8 months, 6 months, whatever it was in depth. And off I went. 8.5 years.
There you go. See, so ladies and gentlemen that are listening, recruiters aren't bad. As you see in both these cases, the dream that we gave did come true. Became a corpsman, he became an officer. So trust in your recruiters. That's all I'm saying to you guys. Even though the pathway might not seem as smooth as a yellow brick road.
Yeah.
But we will get you to see the whiz.
Blake, I told her in the beginning when we were on, before we came on, I said, "Hey, I already know the recruiter told you, okay, here's the deal. I know you're going to be a corpsman, but you're not going to be a corpsman. You're not going to be a yeoman. You're not going to be a personnel specialist. No admin, no medical. We need you to go turn wrenches and get dirty. That's what we need to do." And then she was like, "Well, mine was available." I was like, "That's how it always goes. They're going to tell you that you can't get it, and then you're going to go and be like, they had it for me.
Right.
The recruiter's horrible. He doesn't know anything."
Well, I gave them an ultimatum too, though, because they were trying to offer up other things. And, I scored really high, and they did. They were like, "You scored perfect to be a mechanic." No. No.
They hit you with, "Look, you're going to promote a lot faster if you take that engineering job. You're going to get ranked so fast."
Yeah, but it worked out, and it was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys started this career and you went into the military and you got to do that. And now that you're out, how do I link you two together now on the outside of the Navy?
And the Air Force.
Out the Air Force, Navy and Air Force, right? Or was it
correct?
Yes.
Navy and Air Force. So how did you guys link up now with the Air Force and the Navy? Like, what brings you two together?
Well, I think it's a little bit of a long story. I guess probably going back to tell you how Warriors to Racers kind of came about might help.
Okay.
We got time.
Back in it's 2022, or at least early 2022, probably 2021 actually. I had been working with Vet Motorsport to get veterans involved with motorsport, and had gotten a number of veterans involved with American endurance racing. I'd been running with a team called Baller Racing, running an Acura Integra, for I think that was my second year by the time we hit 2022 with that team. We'd had a number of veterans that had gotten involved. November of 2022 came along at the end of the season, and one of the team owners came up to me and said, "Hey, Ed, what would you be interested in setting up an all-veteran American endurance racing team?" And I said, "Sure, that sounds great." So I put out the call and immediately realized that lots of folks wanted to do it, but nobody had enough sufficient experience to do it. So, not wanting to turn any of the veterans away, I started to look around at veteran racing organizations. There's quite a few veteran teams that are out there, and realized that no one was really doing a driver development or crew development program. And so, come about January, I kind of laid out what the program was going to be and started to socialize it. Reached out to Resilience Racing Foundation. Actually, reached out to a couple of different organizations that had both offered to kind of be our parent with the it was a 501c3 organization, so it was a full-blown charity. And the one that seemed to fit us the best ended up being Resilience Racing, so they took us under their wing, and we just kind of progressed from there. Tana, I'm sorry, I don't really remember what the time frame was when you joined Warriors to Racers, but it was along in there somewhere where we were starting to get things set up and everything, and she very graciously volunteered to be the Texas rep. She's got a car down there. We're trying to get some folks down there to work on that to get the car going for her, but before we knew it, I found an opportunity, and for her, it was right up her alley. It was an all-female team operating out of Houston, and that's kind of the way things came together between the two of us. And just to kind of sweeten the pot with the Grace After Fire charity that she's the CEO for, it's just a good fit.
Yeah.
And so. Tana, I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. I don't know, honestly, at what point I exactly came in. I know it was just like you were saying, Ed, sometime in the beginning, because you and I were having conversations and, having conversations with, other people as well. And I just remember, when I get excited, I get really excited. And had to listen to several hours and several phone calls of how excited I am to race and find, a veteran organization that supports this and supports women in doing this as well. And so, I like to say I'm like a Belgian mountain lion. I'll grab on and, I'm just going to hang on.
Yeah.
And you can drag me around with you, but I want to do it, so I'm gonna ride with you. So Ed's been stuck with me for probably a year and a half now, and then either right at the end of last year or the start of this year. No, it had to have been in the summer of last year, because we had our first race in December. So connected to a all-female team. And that's my dream, is to have an all-female veteran race team.
Wow. So help me understand, because I purposely do it. Like I try to not get too much information before, right? So that I can get it like the people who are watching get it, right? So now, just for I'm clear, T, you race, right? You're behind the wheel racing?
Yes.
Oh, wow. This is crazy. Now, Ed, you as well, you're behind the wheel racing as well?
Yeah, I've actually been racing for 37 years now. Yeah. So,
okay.
And I didn't start. I actually was doing a lot with like formula cars and that kind of thing, and then a few years ago switched over to endurance racing.
Yeah.
And just fell in love with it. You get a lot of time in the car that you don't get with other series, and it's just it is a really great place to be to get a lot of seat time.
Absolutely.
So Tanner, tell me. I'm sorry, Matt. Didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
yeah, I was just gonna ask the question for me, just to bring it all like full circle. So you've been racing for 37 years, right, Ed? So you've probably been doing it since you were a kid, I would assume, right? Like it's just been something that's been around your family.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? What made you want to race a car and go that fast and do that
Yeah,
stuff?
that's what I was gonna say.
So I have only been officially racing. So I was doing SCCA autocross, and it was a woman veteran that got me involved. But to kind of answer your question, I've always loved cars. I've always loved racing. I've always loved going fast. I grew up in Dallas. There were lots of street races. I was always around that. And then, I grew up, I went into the military. There's no racing there. I had my family and then, got out, transition, all of that things. Well, now my kids are grown.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to spend time on what I want to do now. And so I love cars. And so I bought a Stinger a couple of years ago. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out on track with this somehow. And so I reached out to the Women on Track here in Houston. And there's a woman veteran, and she's freaking amazing. She's Air Force too. And she was like, yeah, come on down, come meet everybody. Instantly fell in love. Instantly. And have been there for the last 2.5 years. So, yeah. And then, so I've done autocross track. And then our team did our first Lemons race, which is endurance racing. It's an 18-hour race in December.
So now that you drive fast, does it irritate you to drive slow?
Oh, it has always irritated me to drive slow.
Oh, so you're that lady. You're the lady who's behind me, like right on me, like, and I'm like, man, I'm going 90. What else do you want me to do? And you're like, yeah.
Hey,
and you this lady.
We're here in Houston. We know what it's like.
Right.
We know
My wife does that too.
We're in that far left lane. If you're not driving like Fast and the Furious,
then you're wrong.
I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember being in Houston the first year we were here. It was Christmas time, and my wife's parents came in for Christmas. Like it was like a fly-in, fly-out kind of deal, right? So I picked them up from the airport. Now, y'all, it's Christmas, right? It's December. Yeah. So we got them picked up at the airport. And I'm driving back. Dude, I probably almost got into a couple wrecks because every time, like you would turn around, all of a sudden you can hear the slam holding on to the door handle because everybody's moving in and out. And both of my wife's, parents were like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And I finally had to go, listen, I need y'all to like calm it down because I need to be able to move in and out, right? But if it's all, and they were just like, "Oh my God. These people drive so crazy here." And I mean, it's like 5 lanes of traffic, you might as well be a la LA and all that stuff, right? So it's so busy and crazy. I just remember him like grabbing that door and it was like, "Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you got to stop. I got to be able to drive." Right. So it's crazy. But their biggest thing is every time they look over, everybody driving by them is doing this right here. They're driving, but they're like, right? Yep. They're just not even looking at the steering wheel. They're looking down at their phone and they're texting, and it's like they're doing 80. You're like, yeah, that's just how it goes here.
Yeah, I think my wife's cruising speed is like 93. I think that's her cruising speed. So, when I get in the car to her, I'm like, well, what is going on right now? But I understand it. The thing that irritates me, though, is when people aren't in the left lane and they're doing that speed, or somebody who's in the left lane that's doing like 53. I'm like, bro, get out of like. People just don't understand the rules of the road, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. But you like to drive fast.
I do, but I'm a very courteous, and I will say this: I always use my blinker.
Well, there you go. Hey, shouts out.
She better than 90% of Houston, that's for sure.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that little thing that clicks up to go right and down to go left? You actually use that?
That's right. I give a signal before I cut anybody off.
Nice. So you're like, I told you I was going to do it.
Shouts out to you, because everybody in Houston, you guys need to know what that is. You guys just don't use that. Things would be so much easier if you just let me know that you're going to go right or go left. I can move out your way. But just to yank over this way and yank over that way, that's disrespectful. But I'm glad that T uses that. So shout out to you for that.
You know this, and you know this.
If you happen to see me on the road, so I have a bright blue Stinger, but if you see Nurky in your rear view mirror, just go ahead and move on over.
There you go. There you go.
Nice. So hey, there's a question out here, right? So Morgan Cash is like, I'm super jealous because you get to drive fast, but like, what do you do? It's 18 hours. Can you snack? How do you go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah, so it's kind of a parody. So Lemons is kind of a parody on Le Mans. There's different races all over the country. So some might be 24 hours, like the full 24 hours, drive in the dark, all that. The one that we did last December here in Houston was 8 hours, 2 days, or 9 hours, 2 days, whichever. And so we had a team we have 5 ladies on our team. So we set our own schedule. We do our own maintenance, everything. And, you can come in and trade drivers, as you see fit. It's just a matter of where you place and, all of that and how your team works out, the trades and the fun stuff.
But how do you pick up? How do you pick up time for that? I guess because you say 18 hours straight or 8 hours, and say you have to go tinkle. I'll say tinkle for the lighter word. So you have to go tinkle.
Yeah.
Does your time stop? And then how? I'm just trying.
No. It's actually a team of drivers, and so we usually swap out about every hour and a half.
Oh,
and so a new driver gets in and drives.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and Tana's focus right now is on Lemons. That's kind of the middle tier of what we're trying to do with the driver development program. There's actually other organizations, Champ Car and American Endurance Racing, which are kind of considered a little bit more. You get a little bit more experience levels as you get up to those. The overall goal of the program is to get a veteran to the World Racing League or into IMSA, where it's a pro level. That's goal of the program.
She's right there.
And Tana's volunteering.
Like that Belgian Malinois, I'm still here.
Yeah. But that's the idea. But it's also a crew development program. I also saw in the chat there that my crew coordinator Jake is getting on me because I haven't mentioned that we actually have a race with our little Miata that we're trying to get going, and the car's name is Didi because it's car number 214. So Didi.
Okay, Didi 214. I like that.
And
what you did there.
We'll be out there. I believe it's April 5th, 6th, and 7th with American Endurance Racing. It is 2 8-hour races over the course of the weekend at Pittsburgh International Raceway, just outside of Pittsburgh. We are actually looking for drivers and crew for that car. So if there's folks that actually have driving experience, please have them reach out to me and crew. We can get folks in there on that as well. But there's some coordination we have to do ahead of time. But so yeah, we got that going on, and always looking for new folks to get trained up on stuff.
There you go.
On that topic, from the veteran side, I have all of the, alphabet diagnoses, tied to me. And I have never once found a sport that gives me the adrenaline rush that's remotely close to my experiences in the military. And we all know what those experiences are.
Right.
And it's unfathomable to think that there's something that can kind of get up to that level. Racing does it because every single molecule, every single cell in your body is thinking about the control of the car, where you are, how fast you're going, where in the environment are you and everybody else. It's amazing. It's like the quietest my brain has ever been, and all on the same page at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's another organization that we partnered with called Follow On Mission, and they have some really interesting stories about the veterans that they have worked with that have a lot of PTS issues, particularly hypervigilance.
Mm-hmm.
And what's unique about using endurance racing over the other forms of racing is the amount of time that you're in the car, and that duration is what has the impact.
Mm-hmm.
With the shorter stints, the shorter races, it doesn't seem to have the same effect as endurance racing does.
Right.
Because you're in that mode for an hour and a half at a time, and that's what makes the difference.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, are y'all familiar with CBT or exposure therapy or anything like that? It's like a mesh of all the things. So you have to retrain your thought, and then you have to retrain your behaviors, but you have to be able to exposure therapy, see it from way over here and not in it. And that's kind of what racing is. It gives you an alternative to as far as like what you're thinking about, but still using all of those skills that otherwise have been a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really cool. And it just happens. You don't have to try at all.
Well, for me, I think that's a good segue into, we want to learn so much more about what you guys are doing with the Warriors to Racing and all the races. And there's something behind you there, Tana, that we want to get into. So I would say, Ty, maybe we should pay the bills real quick, and then we can come back and get really deep into what you guys do and how it forms and just the whole progress of it.
Yeah, this thing is a good break time. Pay some bills or something like that. This is DJ Royal T. You are live at the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. I'm here with my man Ed and my girl Tana, along with Ty Cobb and my man Matt Johnson. We're talking about some fast cars, y'all. Fast cars, fast races, and all that good stuff. We'll be back after these messages. Y'all stay tuned.
Get ready to groove to the electrifying sounds of DJ Royal T, the maestro of mixing who knows how to turn any event into an unforgettable dance sensation. Royalty Entertainment is here to bring you the ultimate musical experience straight from the ones and twos in your ears and through your body to activate them dancing shoes. Get ready to sweat, party, and have a good time while your DJ needs are being blazed by none other than me, DJ Royal T. I have spent years crafting together a DJ entertainment empire that promises a customized blend of musical tracks, mix and mastering, and top quality sound, all while providing a vibrant ambiance to accommodate any of your DJ needs. Royalty Entertainment Services is your premier one-stop shop for top-tier musical entertainment, and is hosted by yours truly. For more information, reservations, and booking, feel free to look around the website at godjroyalty.com. I am DJ Royalty, and this has been another Royalty Entertainment production. Yeah.
Gear up in style wearing Got Your Six apparel. Every purchase makes a difference. It's more than just clothing, it's a statement of gratitude. Upgrade without breaking the bank. Discover cost-effective, high-quality clothing made in the USA. Each shirt is handcrafted by our team in the great state of Texas and shipped for free to your front door. Got Your Six is where quality meets purpose. We're a small veteran-owned business that takes pride in the mission and the value of our products. Join us in growing a community, supporting our heroes, veterans, and first responders by wearing a custom design.
I thought you'd never ask.
Visit sameflagsameoath.com and use the code TRIPLETHREAT for 10% off. Follow us on all social media platforms for any upcoming releases or events, and you can reach out to us with questions anytime. We are here to support our brothers and sisters.
Off-road cars are daft, antisocial and idiotic, and the people who drive them are fools. This is mine.
Project Zero is a registered 501c3 with a mission to transform veteran and first responder well-being through our total wellness approach that addresses your mental, physical, and social wellness. We're still reflecting on a powerful year of impact with Project Zero. In 2023, we proudly served 198 first and frontline responders, military veterans, and their families through our transformative mental health programs, our outdoor programs, and our fitness programs. Find out more on our website, projectzero.com. Just get out there.
Hey everybody, Scott Bryson here with Veteran Mortgage Solutions, and today's quick shot instant intel is around interest rates. If you see an interest rate that seems too good to be true, it probably is. Keep in mind, there's a lot of factors that go into determining someone's interest rate, such as credit score, loan to value, debt to income ratio, property type, and more. So give me a call or somebody you trust to get the information you need, because there are people out there that will take advantage of you. And remember, you've got to own real estate to build generational wealth and financial security for you and your family. It's worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Well, we're back, but not a good night, fellas.
What's the matter?
Kentucky's
down.
Kentucky lost.
Oh my goodness.
How does that happen?
I gotta apologize to Miss Tana and Ed for being distracted, but that's why I kept looking over there.
No more distraction,
game.
You're
Oh my
good,
God!
guys.
Down goes Kentucky.
So real quick,
Yeah.
before we get in, I just want to tell my brother what's up. My brother came in today.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that was your brother. I saw him mention it
Chris?
earlier.
He's the worst looking one. I look better, so there you go. There's that.
He's pretty. He's
Opinions
pretty
vary. I've heard.
He's got them bosun mate features. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
I'm playing with anchor
in,
chains
brother.
and gray paint.
Well, all you guys are good looking, man. All you Johnsons. What? That don't sound right. Let me rewind that, because that did not sound right.
Fine.
It's the last name, but when somebody says all you Johnsons look good, that definitely doesn't sound good for radio. So I have to rewind. Let me rewind that back. You gentlemen are some nice looking gentlemen. It has nothing to do with Johnson.
So in the update on my weight, I wanted to give this update real quick. When we got back from the cruise, I went and saw my daughter. So I wanted to show you a quick video of my daughter. I would set this up better, except for I'm a bit distraught about this Kentucky loss. So
Julie Willis is drinking bourbon right now.
Yeah. But Julia like this. This is my daughter. I got 4 daughters, so this is the one that's the Fred Astaire dance instructor, and she's been doing really well. So I did a little dance with her.
Third time.
Damn.
All right. So
I meant to play it coming back from break, but
we need to write a letter, and that needs to be one of the next coaches on Dancing with the Stars, or she needs to be competing on it.
Yeah.
She loves it. She wants to. And I wanted to. I shouted out Cadence a couple of weeks ago. I'm so proud of my kids. I hate to be that dad that does that, but I mean, I'm just so proud of my kids. If I could have them on every week, I would. Tatum, I told Tatum I wasn't feeling good earlier, and he's like, "I'll host." So I know he could host with you guys. He's 11, so
yeah. Man, I see you got your steps in, man.
Yeah, I did. I did. I did a little bit, and then today's just it was raining, or I was gonna go walking today too, but
yeah,
didn't get to it. Hey, let's bring Ed and Tana back.
Yep. You guys aren't Kentucky fans, are you?
Nope.
Who are you for in March Madness?
Yes,
Do y'all have a team?
No.
No team?
No.
Texas A&M, Tana, come on now. What are you
Hey, I love Texas A&M. I love all Texas teams, but I mean, I don't have a favorite.
Yeah. As long as they're from the state of Texas, that's all that matters.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask a question just to deep dive some of the stuff with the Worcester Racing. So you kind of spoke how this, you have to concentrate. It's going to take everything that you have in order to maneuver the car around the track and everything. But as far as like from a veteran perspective, how is some of this have you seen the similarities about like prepping for a deployment, going on deployment, having to have team interaction, confidence in your equipment? How is your veteran perspective? How is it kind of translated into the racing game?
Absolutely. So I think it's a unique perspective from me because I'm the only veteran on an all-female team. And we were the only female team out of all this entire race. And I started the race with 150 cars. So to lead up to that, I think my leadership skills, and then we have a good age range on our team. So that due diligence and kind of silliness and all of that, those types of things that go along with preparing for deployment or getting ready for something big like that, but keeping the team kind of hyped up. I think that's the role that I played on our team. We have some amazing women, and we all play a role. And so I think for me, I brought that kind of levity in an otherwise very anxious situation. But it's a lot of fun. And once you get out there, and we wouldn't have been able to form something like this if we didn't have a connection already. And it's really special how so many, there's 5 ladies, on this team, and ranging from like 23 to late 40s. But we work really well together, and we came together within like 2 months and hit that track, and 2 of our ladies had never driven a standard.
Yeah, I was going to ask if there's probably a wide gap in skills as well.
Yeah. So I have done autocross. One other teammate, she had also done some autocross and some track, and I've done HPDE and some other tracks outside of Lemons. So we had a varying levels, but it all worked together. And to talk about time, our 2 youngest, man, they kept that time. They were solid. And, so
don't fear that young though. That's why.
Yeah. That steady pace. And that's awesome. And you need that, you need the hot heads on the team, and you need those steady and,
Did you point to yourself when you said hot head? You kind of pointed at yourself.
Right. Yeah. So it's awesome.
I think too, it's really a coming together. It just like being in the military, it's a group of high-speed, low-drag individuals coming together for a common mission, and that's really where things come into play. You can tell the difference between a group of veterans getting together on a team versus just Joe Blow off the street. It's a whole different level of intensity, a different level of cooperation, and just knowing how to interact on a team in a very not necessarily high stress, but a very fast paced situation where you are relying on equipment. If someone on the team screws something up on the car, if they screw the brakes up, you're hosed. You could potentially be into the wall. And so you are really relying on the team to have the car right. And only through the team, particularly with endurance racing, only through the team is that car going to make it through to the end of that race.
Right.
And you're almost guaranteed that sometime during that race, even the shortest races that we're talking about are 7 hours long. So even at the 7 hour length, you're almost guaranteed that car is going to break sometime during that event, and you have to get it fixed and back out on the track as fast as you can do it.
I'm glad you said that. So I have a question for you. So that leads into, we've been talking about driving this whole time, right? Driving a car, taking it on the track, people got to drive it. But when I was looking through y'all's website before we talked today, you guys teach people how to do everything, right? Like pit crew, you can help fix the car, you can help change the oil, you can do all these different things. So in a sense, like you don't, so for everybody that's out there, you don't have to drive, because somebody joked earlier, was like, I'll be in the pit crew. Well, great. You can do that with you guys, and that's pretty cool. So what's the lead up to this, right? Like you have all these people doing these things, and I know that you said 2 months you guys pulled it together. Ed, like what's the time frame to really put something like this together to go do one race? Like how much effort or time goes into that with the team as a whole? Because I'm sure everybody's in different places, right?
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of coordination, trying to get everybody to come together, and you need about a month's lead time at least to hit any particular event. So just to get all the logistics put in place. But just as an example, Dee, the car that we got, I actually bought that car for Warriors Racers last November. Yeah, Jake, I'll tell in a minute. It's a funny story. So, or rather spectacular story. But we bought it back in November, and we're just now getting the car put together. They've been down to my house. I've had several of the Warrior Racer veterans come to my house to spend, at least a couple of days on it. Jake, the crew coordinator there, he came down. He lives up by Pittsburgh. He came down here to Virginia, and he spent almost an entire week working on the car. And so it's that kind of dedication that we really need. The story about baller racing at Summit Point Speedway, which is in the West Virginia. This was with the Acura Integra. We had been running the event. We had some pretty fast drivers that day. I was on the team driving. Jake was crewing, and one of the other team members was going into the final turn, going down onto the main straight, and the right front wheel decided that it did not want to be on the car anymore. And so it left.
No.
It just said, "See ya." Wow. And because we have cameras in the car, so you can see what's going on, and all you could see was the car like drop, and he didn't have any control, and the car slowly spun around and went shooting backwards. Didn't really slow down at all, and he hit the tire wall hard enough that the back end, it compressed the tires, and the back end shot up, and he ended up landing on top of the tire wall. Wow. And that wheel with the steering knuckle and everything shot off and went over the barrier, and was spinning so fast that there was a catch fence on the far side of the access road, and it wound itself into the fence.
Wow.
And so that,
Me too, Morgan.
It shortened the car by about 2 feet.
Wow.
And this was probably about, I want to say about, I think it was about 11 o'clock noon sometime in there, about lunchtime at any rate. And the race was ending at 5. And in about 3.5 hours, we worked on the car and got it back. It was on the track before the end of the race.
Wow.
And we actually got an award that day. We couldn't qualify for it or anything, because we actually got a did not finish for that day, because the car did not finish half. There you go. Jake just said 4 hours, 11 minutes, and 6 seconds to fix the car.
Yeah.
And
Not that he was keeping time on it or anything.
At one point, they were we had hooked like straps to the back end of the car to the team owner's van and just driving it back out. You'd gun the van.
Goodness.
You went mute.
He hit the mute button.
My goodness, just to get the car back to come back out, he would just gun the van and it would just pull it out.
Wow.
But it was.
So my question is then, I know it took you guys 4 hours or something like that, 3 hours. Who cleaned the poop out the car? Because I know there was a whole lot of that flying around there when that tire flew off. I just want to know.
The funny thing was the guy who was driving got out of the car and he had his hands on his hips like he was just frustrated that he was on top of the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, he got out like, I can't believe this happened. Can somebody fix this real quick? I gotta drive a car. Like, what?
Someone scratch my damn car.
That sounds like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just go. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that, right?
So
that's crazy.
So for veterans' sake, right? So would this be considered? And I guess it could be. Would this be considered like therapy for veterans? And you know what I mean? Like, what kind of transmissions happen within this? Because I know for some, like I can imagine for like a pilot or someone who flies and stuff like that, who's used to going fast, you get out, you don't have that thrill anymore, but you can come in and get involved in this, and you can go back moving fast again and feeling like yourself again, because those people who have that need for speed, they need that. So right. I guess in some aspects, this could be therapy for veterans who are used to those things.
1,000%. And, just kind of, tying back, it is taking, those feelings that are tied to another event, from military service that was incredibly stressful, all of these things that in those moments we were not able to process. And it gives us an alternate way to still experience those feelings, but in a healthy and exciting way that we want to experience them. Does that make sense? It's the opportunity to flip the narrative instead of having those feelings related to a negative.
Right.
Then racing gives you the feelings, with a positive.
Absolutely.
It's almost you're back in the controlled chaos space.
Yes.
And so that right there, that's the only thing I can think of when I hear you guys talking about this, how to lead up to it and fixing the car and everything's going wrong and nothing's going right. And we got to figure it out and it's got to get done. That's mission planning. That's going on the mission. It's controlled chaos. Everybody's in control all the time. But if you were to go watch, you'd be like, oh my God,
we look
what are they
like
doing?
Ty's daughter. We look like Ty's daughter. And when you get a good team together, you just dance around each other and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch because you do it without, words, because you have that camaraderie and you have that team.
And that's what's kind of, again, getting back to what I mentioned earlier about how you can tell the difference between the military veterans and the other teams. The other teams, you'll hear arguments and stuff going on. It's rare to hear that between the veterans when they're working on stuff.
Yeah. Because they're like, it's not that bad. The tire just fell off.
Right, just the tire.
Find another
we're
one.
cussing up a storm, but we're all laughing about it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, what do we need to do to fix it? It's not
right.
Getting in someone's face.
Right.
It's what do we need to do to fix it? Let's just get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's funny because probably later on that night, that guy's in there going, guys, you'll never believe what I did today. I was in this car. It was going really fast. The wheel came off. It hit the barrier so hard. I flew up in the air like I was trying to take off like an airplane, came down. And I just got out like, what's going on?
Right.
And normal people are going to be like, what? Like, you said that like it was fun. And he's like, yeah, it was kind of a lot of fun. I would do it again right now.
It is.
Crazy, dude.
That's part of the fun too at the end of each day, because these teams come from all over the country.
Yeah.
It turns into just this like big party and big fun and like this kind of weird campground cookout.
All right, you talked me into it, man.
Full of stinky people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, we're definitely going to come watch you race at some time. Tana P, we're going to back you for sure. I was going to ask, like, from a mentor perspective, Ed, you've been racing here since 1987. Miss Tana, you've been racing for, you loved racing all your life, but been doing it for 3 or 4 years here with the team. What does it feel like to you when you get a brand new veteran that comes in? I guess this question may be just for Ed. I don't know if you've trained anyone, Miss T, but what's it like when you see the light bulb go off in the veteran's head that they may have been struggling with something, whatever it is? Maybe they've disclosed it, maybe you just knew it. What's it like to know that you've helped that veteran? How does that feel?
It's pretty freaking amazing. Tana mentioned HPDEs. That's high performance driver education. I'm an HPDE instructor, and I've been in the car with veterans trying to get them up and running, and just seeing when it clicks. It's like, well, hey, what are you feeling right now? And that's part of it, I guess, is that it's not just getting in the car driving fast. There's a lot of thought and that goes behind it. Jake keeps putting stuff in the comments.
Keep it coming, Jake. Keep it coming. Start giving us the dirt.
I think he's my biggest fan. Managed to get him going with the teams and everything, and he's. I think Jake's amazing. I think I'm Jake's biggest fan. He came in really back before Warriors Racers was up and running, and he ended up being basically the crew chief on the baller race team, and he's been on I think it's 3 or 4 teams now if you count the Warrior Racer team that we're about to get going. He was on the baller race team. He was on Golden Rotor, which is an RX-8 team, and then he was on the Angry Croc team. So he's gotten a lot of mileage, and he's been a really good advocate for the Warriors to Racers program, because he's spreading the word and showing what a veteran can do on these teams, which is really important.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Tana, I would say this. In my time being in the military, in the Navy, I've met some badass women in the Navy, right? And, nothing's cooler than a woman who likes things, likes fast things and likes cars. And, what I'm saying? I've always had this thing for this mechanics and, women that are doing non-traditional women things. Do you ever get any slack? Do you ever get any kickback? Or how has that transition been for you, being a woman getting into a predominantly men's field, right? What kind of things have you heard as far as just being a woman trying to pick that up?
Oh, goodness.
And how many asses have you kicked?
Let us see. So, I've gotten quite a bit of, you race? Oh, you're a racer, or, who are you with, or whatever. But among the race community, there's not a lot of, what's the word? Negative, feedback on other teams. You know what I mean? You'll find teams that are extremely competitive and things like that are rivals or whatnot. But I've never had anybody be hateful or anything like that. And I like to educate people. I like to share my story, because I want other women to know that this is available to them.
Yeah.
And, there's amazing opportunities in motorsports for women and girls. So, I'm happy to, tell everybody, absolutely, yes, I drive. Absolutely, I turn wrenches. Absolutely, when that car, rolled off the deck on accident, that was mine. But you know what I mean? Hey, yeah. I'm not perfect, and I'm very new at this. So I have to have a lot of coaching. So I feel it's kind of reciprocal. You know what I mean? I know what it's like to be a woman veteran and new to racing. So I'm happy to share that part. And, in return, they educate me on, compressions or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would ask too, so from both of your guys' perspective, I watch all these shows on Netflix, right? Formula One, and then they got the NASCAR one now. And the biggest thing that I pick up from watching shows like that is like racing is one of those things that you've either done it your whole life or you haven't, right? You started really, really young, you came into it, and everybody's trying to get to the next level. So are these circuits that you guys are in that you're participating in, are they kind of like that? Is there like legacies there? And what is it like for a veteran to come in who's so brand new and not really ever done it before? And how do they kind of fit in the immediacy of coming in there, right? Especially you're walking into a garage and you don't speak French. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so how is there, do you find like a lot of people try to bring them forward? Like you were saying, Tana, like they'll bring you forward, they'll teach you, they'll help, or do you think that there's still like a gap there?
No, I think, and from my experience, again, I found a woman veteran on, a Houston SCCA, Facebook page. And as soon as I got connected, it was exactly that. Come on in, ride in my car. I was riding in Lotuses, people I don't know, riding in Lamborghinis, or, a good friend of mine who's also a veteran. He drives a GT40. I've been in a GT40 on track. How freaking cool is that?
Yeah.
And so I think it's part of the culture, again, going back to, they want, because, they know what it's like. And then from Lemons racing, it's all in good fun, literally. You dress up, our car has bunny ears, and so, it's a comedy show, and
Nice.
so everybody has to learn somewhere. And even those families that start their kids out in karting, I want to start my granddaughter in karting, but they know, and they're happy to share their knowledge and all of the good things that they have. I have never experienced anybody like extremely derogatory or negative or anything like that.
That's awesome.
That's good. So see, there you go. So I say that because we always talk on this podcast about, you get out, you're trying to figure things out, things aren't right, you don't like how things are going, and you want to stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't do that. Just, these are prime examples of getting out, right? This is something totally different from anything that you've done in the military, but it's something that you find joy in, something that you find pleasure in. You have a chance to be with other veterans. You have a chance to experience something new, live a new life. You only got one. So I tell people who are here that are looking and watching this podcast and all over, and one of the reasons why we have you guys on, because you guys are another testimony of getting out and doing something different, just getting involved, staying around the community of veterans that you were used to when you were in, and just finding a way to find new life, new joy outside of the military to keep you pushing forward. So to Ed and Tana, I appreciate you guys for giving us your story and putting that out there, because people just need to know that life doesn't stop once you get out. There are things you can do. And if you don't like your situation, recreate a new one. You know what I mean? Get into something that you've never done before and just charge for it. Just give it a shot. You might mess around and love it. So I'm happy. This brings me joy. So hopefully somebody out here that's watching got a chance to see it and understands it and gets out and tries something new. That's what we want.
And just to kind of harken back to what Matt was saying about the age bracket or whatnot, that is, and that is very true with a lot of new racers and whatnot that are coming up. They're very young, and so there's a lot of older racers, myself included, that we still want to race, or people that are older want to get involved with it. But the older older people, if you're not like a teeny bopper or whatnot, they're reluctant to get involved in motorsport. And that's one of the cool things about endurance racing is the drivers, the crew, pretty much everybody are older. It is a different skill set to do endurance racing than it is to do the sprint racing. Sprint racing, you're just 100% of the time. It's a very short event, relatively speaking. But in endurance racing, you have to know what the car is doing. You have to understand what is going on with the car so you can get it to last as long as it is. One of the things that we say, particularly in endurance racing, is you want to go as fast as you can, as slow as you can. Because you still have to be fast, but you need to manage the car.
Yeah.
And by the way, the other thing too I want to mention about the Lemons series, their tagline was, it was a party that turned into a race. So that's kind of what
there you go.
Kind of the way they look at it. But
Nice.
the other forms of endurance racing, the ones that are a little bit that are more serious, if you will, that idea of the teams helping each other is still there. It is not. It's not like we're not going to help you at all. That for the most part, you're going to run into people that are bend over backwards to help you to get you on the track.
Because they want to compete against you at your best, right?
Right.
They want to know if they won. It's because they beat you at what you were both there to do. That's what I've seen a lot with racing, is people will help that, because it's like, yeah, we could win, but if you're not out there, then we really didn't win.
Right.
Because not everybody was there, right? You can't help a wreck and stuff like that. But that's crazy. That's cool. I like to hear that,
Yeah.
I like to hear that.
Yeah.
So just quick question, though. Does it get really hot in the car when you're driving?
Oh, yeah.
How hot?
It depends on the vehicle, but what most of us have gone to now is wearing cool shirts and making sure that we have water in the car, or Gatorade available, so that we're able to sip on that as we're going. There are some of there's actually, like in some of these cars, there's actually like a refrigeration unit that cools it down. Those are really super expensive.
Let's go. That's like a luxury vehicle, dude.
Yeah, but it is because we're in the flame retardant suit. We've got the Hans device on. We've got your helmet on, your gloves, your shoes, and it's not like thin material. It has to at least be the double layer suit, so you're basically well insulated with your own heat, and then you're getting into a car that's well over 100 degrees, and you bake in there.
Oh wow!
And so, but even the other, most of the teams don't have that refrigeration unit. They have it's basically a cooler. They just throw ice in every pit stop, and that's how.
I'd have figured you guys would have used like 2x60, right? 2 windows down, 60 miles an hour. Let's get that AC rolling, baby.
I don't even have windows. I don't even have those.
Well, it's ironic we just talked about how hot it gets in the car, because there are points in our show where the guests get to be put in a really, really hot seat. So I'm glad you helped us walk right into that one. That was really good.
Got right in there, right?
It's really good. Walked right
Thanks,
into it.
This is all Tana.
No.
No. There's two of us.
I get the easy questions. She gets the hard ones.
All right, we can do that. If you say so. Let me change it up here. Oh.
I like this fire. This goes right along with.
You like that fire? We're gonna give you some. Yeah, we're gonna give you some more fire. All right, so here we go. We're in the building. This is DJ Royal T. I'm in here with my man Ed, and I'm also in with Tana. As you guys have heard from listening to the podcast, these are some pretty cool people. They like to drive fast. They like fast things. They like mechanical things and all that good stuff. So now we're going to find out a little bit more about them as we get into this segment. All right. So you know what? Mr. Ed said he wants the easy question. So nope, I'm going to let the fire warm up a little bit. Tana, I'm coming to you first.
Okay.
For you, I need to know. Let me see, because you know what? I don't have my pen, so these are going to be real hot, just hot from the high tizzle head questions that I want to ask. All right, so if you have 30 cows and 28 chickens, how many didn't?
Oh no, that's math. I don't do math.
Just think about it. Listen to what I'm saying.
No, someone asked me something very similar to this. I don't understand the who didn't or how many didn't.
But just listen to what I say. If you had 30 cows and 28 chickens, how many didn't?
I don't know.
Ed,
Oh,
huh? Ty, don't be trying to cheat and pop in. You can get in the hot seat. Don't try to give him that. See, Ed already got it. So okay. So do you understand what I'm saying now, Tana?
No, I don't get that. Someone asked me that this weekend. I don't understand it.
All right, I'm gonna give it to you one more time. Just listen to the word. Don't think about don't think about the answer yet. Just listen to what I'm saying. You had 30 cows and 20 ate chicken. How many didn't?
Oh, okay. I got it. All right. Yep.
How many didn't?
10.
There you go. Okay, there you go. See that? See how it had you thinking. All right, Ed, here we go. What is the one thing that you done in the car when no one was looking that you would be ashamed to tell someone? But I want you to tell us now.
Does that include the other person that was there?
Hey, you tell us what you want to tell us, man. This is your seat.
Yeah, it was actually in the front of a truck. That's even better. Jake just sent me one that, yes, I am totally ashamed of this one. I was at the baller. I was on the baller race team, and I was trying to adjust the mirror of the car and broke it right off. And we ended up having to order one and get it shipped to the track. And I was really ashamed of that one.
Okay. All right. Tana, we're coming back to you. This is going to be for our peeps here.
Okay.
Probably seeing it. I don't want you to think of anything else than what I'm asking.
Okay.
Who is better? Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Why? If you say because he played 59 instruments, I'm gonna ask you a way harder question.
Oh no! I just love Prince. I mean, he was a showman. I mean, of course, Michael Jackson was too, but Prince was just. There's no one like him. There's no one like Prince. There's no one that looks like him, sounds like him, was as big as him. No.
All right, I see what you did there, Ty. I know you guys are loving that. I know Al's spinning around in his seat right now. He heard that. All right, so here we go. We're coming back to you, Ed. Who is better, in your opinion?
Between Michael Jackson and Prince?
No. LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Oh.
I like the fact that you're thinking about this one. It makes me feel good. I really like the fact that you're thinking about this one. It makes me really feel good.
I'm trying to think. I'm more into racing than anything else, so this is a tough one for me. But I'm gonna have to say LeBron.
My man, that's what I'm doing. All right, I feel good. All right, see, Tana, you're messing up, but Ed is recovering himself. All right, here we go. Tana, in your time in the military, what was the kinkiest thing you did while serving?
Oh goodness. I got up on stage with Prodigy and danced, and half of 3rd 1-3 Heavy Weapons was there.
There you go. Okay. I like that. Ed, you were an officer in the military. And now you're out, so you can't get in any trouble. But really, what really goes on in those officer quarters back there? Is the stuff happening back there that us enlisted people really think, or is that all false?
Actually, I never witnessed it, but there was some pretty good stories going around about some rather interesting behavior that involved putting keys in a bowl. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Inquiring minds wants to. For sure. Absolutely. All right. Here we go. Tana. I'm going to ask you this question. It seems a bit popular, but I'm going to ask it to you because I want to know. You like fast cars, you like things like that, but I see you kind of got a little bit of scrappiness about yourself. Are you the kind of woman who would rather run down a hill to kick a girl's ass or run up a hill to get a little bit?
To run up the hill to what?
To get a little bit.
Oh.
Would you run uphill to get you some or run downhill to kick a little ass?
So if I was running downhill, I wouldn't be kicking a woman's ass. I would be standing with her. Okay. And then if I was running uphill, it's because I'm being chased.
Ooh, I like that. So have you ever been chased up the hill?
Not caught.
Oh, you didn't catch her. Okay. Speedy Gonzalez, she said. Okay. All right. So you know what? I like that question. So Ed, I'm going to ask you the same thing. Because you're a race car guy. Oh, officer guy. You kind of lean back in your chair, seem a little tough guy. Now, when it come down to it, how about yourself? Would you rather run downhill to kick some ass or run uphill, sweating and all, to get a little ass?
I think of the two, I'm more of a lover than a fighter, but I wouldn't. I've been known to run down the hill to kick some ass too.
There you go. Okay. All right. Got that. Now, here we go, Terry. We're going to change the speed. If there was a person from your family or relationship or someone that you have lost to this thing that's called life, if there was one person that you know that has passed away, that you feel that you didn't get a chance to say goodbye to, and you had an opportunity to bring them back to have a conversation, who would that person be and what would that conversation be about?
Oh, that's good. So that's really good. So first and foremost, I would bring my mom back because my mom would ride side seat in the car and race with me. And that's what we would talk about. We would talk about how she loved to go fast. She wasn't like into cars like I am, but how she loved women doing things that were otherwise, a man's sport, or you know what I mean. Doing things to push the envelope.
Gotcha. Okay, have a conversation with mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I know mama's in heaven smiling down at you, proud of you for what you've done, because you took the bull by the horns and you're kicking his ass right now. So I know she'd be happy about that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ed. So I'm coming back to you, my man. Coming back to you. Let me see where I want to get you here, man, because I want to turn up the notch a little bit. All right, Eddie, I got one for you. Every man has come into a time in their life where they let an ass whooping slip through their hands. Somebody that deserved an ass whooping or deserved a good slap in the head that you didn't give to them for whatever reason it was. If you had an honorary slap upside the head to give somebody, who would you give that honorary slap to and why?
Oh. Not gonna name names because he might be listening.
Nah, he needs it. You need to let him know, even if he's listening. He needs to get that. You're safeguarded. You need an honorary slap upside the head.
All right, well, it'd be Craig. I can tell you that. and yeah, it would be. I guess there'd be a slap. It might be a full-blown punch.
Okay, there you go. So Craig, be on the lookout. Wear a helmet when you're around Ed, because it can go down at any time. All right, this is the last one for the both of you guys. Since this is the last one, I'm going to ask you guys both the same question. But this is important to us in the podcast here. you had a chance to come on the Triple Threat Vet podcast and be here with myself and Ty and Matt. And Al's not here, but I know you've probably seen him on the podcast. With you guys being guests, what could we do as a podcast to be better? And where do you rate us in realms of podcasts? Okay, I'll ask you first, Tana.
That's a really awesome question. I think y'all are awesome. I've been on a couple of podcasts. This one is a lot of fun. I love doing. I love that it's a combination of veterans and non-military. But I guess out of like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd say 9.
There you go. I'll take 9. 9's good.
I like this fire too.
There you go. Yeah, you like the fire. I like that. All right. Ed, my man, how about yourself? Where do you rate us at, and what can we do to be better?
I have to agree with Tana on that. I think I'd probably rate you at least an 8, if not a 9. I've seen quite a few of veteran podcasts, and I really like the format that you guys do with the different hosts, and then going back and forth with your guests. I think you guys do a really good job.
I appreciate it. Well, you guys are awesome. You guys have survived the DJ Royalty hot seat. It is what it is, but I'm happy that you guys are so welcoming to answer the question I got. Hope you guys forgive me for it. And Craig, whenever Ed sees you, you better guard your head because it's going down. That's all I know.
Look at Morgan. She said, "Am I the only one that said fuck you, Craig, out loud?"
And Craig gonna get it. You guys are awesome.
Coming into the end of this, though, I do know, looking at the website, so Ed, you work with an organization that helps you out with the Warriors to Racers, and I also know that Tana, the one that's right behind you, is also involved. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of time to talk about those two organizations that are helping you and kind of what they do, and maybe how people can reach out and help those organizations as well, right? Because helping them helps you guys in the long run.
Yeah, the one that works with Warriors to Racers is called the Reliance Racing Foundation. They're out of Indiana, and they actually have set up a team with hand controls. It's a Mustang with hand controls for veterans with amputation. They've been around for quite a while. They're working with the Brit Racing team right now, trying to get that going for this year, which is a very large team that's out of the UK, and they are heavily involved with folks that are amputees or are paralyzed from the waist down. There you can get to Reliance Racing Foundation and Race After Fire and Follow On Mission from the Warrior to Racer webpage. And they're all great organizations, and I want to make sure that Tana has enough time to talk about her organization. So over to you.
Thanks, Ed. So Tana Plusher, and I am the president and CEO of Grace After Fire. We're a nonprofit specifically for women veterans and their families. So all of our programming is designed by women veterans for women veterans on a peer level. So we walk beside our sisters whatever path they're on. If it's just starting out, if they're needing resources or financial assistance for basic needs, or maybe they're needing just some mental health. We have peer-to-peer support groups. We do a free retreat every year and social events. And we are hugely involved in women veteran specific research. We're all about empowering the woman to help herself. And when one woman veteran lifts up another woman veteran, that's unstoppable. It's life changing. All it takes is one.
That's That's good stuff for sure. Man, again, I can't say enough about how awesome you two are. And I want to thank you for what you guys are doing. Like you said, it only takes one. And just the fact that you guys have found something that you love to do, the fact that you're giving back to veterans, the fact that this thing can keep on going because you guys are keeping on going. Somebody else can keep on going. And that's what we want. That's what we try to promote. So I thank you both for what you guys do for veterans, what you guys have done for our country. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being guests on our podcast for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. This was awesome.
Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I want to say thank you very much. This is real near and dear to my heart. I'm an adventure seeker. My older two brothers ride motorcycles. They race cars. There's a gentleman named Todd Trosper and Celia Trosper. They race all the time. So I've been around this my entire life. Thank you so much for what you do with Warriors to Racers and the racing. And then I put the website up for Grace After Fire. They paid, $50,000 in mortgages and electric bills for women veterans. I have a feeling we're probably going to have you on again to talk about Grace After Fire specifically. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you very much, and we'll definitely be in touch. And we're going to come out to one of your events for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see old Dee run.
Dee 214 run.
Yeah.
Well, and here in Houston, there's a lot of fun things. Dee Dee's not here, but we're working on getting a car.
There you go. Well, we definitely want to help.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Really appreciate y'all bringing us on and talking about the program. And the big thing for us is spreading the word.
Absolutely. Come out. If bring your family, come out, experience it. At least just come check it out. It's so much fun.
Well, my wife drives a BMW X5M competition, and I've been trying to get her to bring that thing out on the track. And I was going to ask you, how does that Stinger, how does it act on the track? You said you did autocross with the Stinger?
Yeah.
That's a badass little car.
Oh yes, she is. It's a lot of fun.
Do you have it tuned, or is it it stock? Oh, okay.
No. She is not stock. No.
Okay.
Yeah, she's tuned. And bring out that little BMW. I'd love to, ride along with your wife and show her, get her on some autocross.
You would have to show her, because I can't show her nothing. That thing scares the shit out of me.
I don't have the big dollars like that, but I have a nice golf cart that I can paint up and get ready. I can boost that thing up and bring it out there. I had that thing on 2 wheels. I bet you that'd be a funny sight to see me sliding around the corner on that golf cart boosted up. I might be able to get that thing to about 125.
Good luck.
1.25 maybe.
But if one of my wheels fall off, that's it for me. I won't be on a podcast ever again.
So Doc Powell, Amber's asking where. So where is it that they can come out and see some of the races maybe coming up? We're going to have all their stuff whenever we get off. I'll put all their stuff on our social media, so our listeners can hear that. But where can they, other than the website, where can they go to find out where you're going to be racing next?
Yeah, for Dee and there's also some high-speed kart racing that we do with the karts that we're running around are doing about 80, and they're on the car tracks. But at any rate, we have a full calendar set up on the Warrior to Racer website. That's probably the easiest way to find out where we're going to be. But we are trying to kind of spread the wealth on that as well. Most of the events that we're doing with Dee is with American Endurance Racing or Champ Car, which are the two higher level ones. But Lemons is usually what we try to get the veterans' feet wet on. So and we do have, it's not just Dee that we have available to us to get veterans involved in these different events. So it really just depends on the veterans' availability and that kind of thing. Best thing to do is reach out, and I can usually marry people up with teams, and from there.
Boom.
Very good. Last question before you go, though. What is your favorite car of all time? Not just a race car, but just favorite car of all time.
My my favorite car of all time is a 488 Ferrari 488 GTV. I was, for a while, I worked for an organization called Extreme Experience, and we had the very tough job of having to go warm up the supercars. And they had Lamborghini Huracan, they had Audi R8, Nissan GTR, Porsche GT3s. And out of all of them, the Ferrari was my favorite. It seemed to handle the best out of all of them. It didn't understeer anywhere near as much as some of the other cars, but and I just like the looks of it as well. So
there you go.
Tana, what's your favorite car?
Shelby Cobra 427.
Any specific year?
60 late 60s, 68, 69, 60. Yeah.
67.
Very nice.
67. I like the fatter body, the more beefy body.
Yeah.
My favorite car is Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong with Eleanor.
What about you, Ty?
My favorite car is a 1966 Chevy Chevelle, and my brother actually had that car, my middle brother, and it's the most beautiful car I've ever seen. If I could recreate it, that's what I would want.
That green color.
It was blue. Mine was blue, but my brother's was blue.
Blake, what's your favorite car?
I really don't have a favorite car by name, but if I was to choose a favorite car, all it would have to have is some tinted windows and a big back seat with enough room to where I can throw wifey in the back and she don't have enough room to go nowhere. And it don't even have to drive. It just needs to have a big back seat in the back, and I'm good. Some tinted windows and that on it.
Reinforced tinted windows.
And you know this.
And you know this. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing you all again, but thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you very much. I enjoyed the interaction. Hope we weren't too in your face. Thank you so much for coming on, and we'll definitely be following you on your social media as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot for coming on.
I really appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Go racing.
All right,
Yes.
That's right.
I'll have a great day. I'll be in touch with y'all.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Fellas. We did it again. What episode was that for us?
This is episode 39 right now.
39, y'all. We're coming up on 40 episodes of the Triple Threat Vet podcast. We're still here, y'all. We almost a year in, right?
I want to hit a couple things here. Yeah, man. This has been great going through this. I don't remember if I was talking to you or if I was talking to Matt on the phone earlier today, but
yeah,
I think it was Matt. This podcast has really helped because I used to, since I got out, I think I said I've always been a B word, Matt, earlier is what I said.
Yeah.
But what I meant was since I got out, in 2017.
Yeah.
But, this podcast, being around you guys and being able to have the camaraderie, it's really helped. The network we're building of Project Zero, and now Warriors to Racing, all the things that Got Your Six is doing. Meeting DJ Royalty, this network that we're building is just amazing. David Willis up in Kentucky. So I'm utterly happy for this. I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all want to go to a military ball with me?
I'll go. I'll get dressed up and get fly. I'm the guy. Let's do it.
Yeah. I want to go out and support LaShondra Jones. She's real active with the VFW. So I wanted to try and really support her.
Okay.
With some of the things. So next week we will have an update. So as you can tell, for the first 25 minutes of this podcast, I was completely distracted because my beloved Kentucky Wildcats lost tonight. So this basically is a lost one. But anyway, next week we'll have everybody's picks up there and see what it's looking like.
Yeah.
But, some of the future guests we got coming up, wanted to hit this up real quick. We got this is
Lonnie Martinez.
Lonnie Martinez, one of Al Hero's buddies, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be on next week with us. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought you was going to keep on going through the slides. But
no, that's all I got.
Okay, all right. Well, that's what we got. That's what we're going to do. I'm good with that, too. It's good seeing y'all again. It seems like I say all the time, man, at the end of the podcast and I don't get to see you guys in person for a week, it just seems like it's been a long week until I see you guys. Then when I see you guys, I realize how much I missed you guys and how much cool this is. And like Ty says, man, this has been good for me as far as healing and feeling part of that veteran community. When we have guests like Ed and Tana to come on, and just seeing how veterans are continuing to do great things even outside of the military is awesome. And the people who are watching and listening, I appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys get something from it. I was playing 2K the other day, and one of my good friends, Breadwinners, he shot him out. He watches the podcast. I didn't even know. I just talk about it when I'm playing, and he watched it and talked about it. So I know people out there watching it. People are looking. I appreciate all you lookers and you listenings. All you guys out there, man. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being there. If you guys don't know, hey, now you know. Go ahead and subscribe, follow, and keep on checking in, because we're going to be back again next week. I'm DJ Royalty. This is my man, Matt J, and my man, Todd Cobb. My message to you guys is, if you don't like something about yourself, what are you going to do to fix it? And like I always say, hey, whether you believe it or not, somebody is looking for you to be there tomorrow. So all you need to do is get your ass up and be there. Find you something to make you feel the way that you need to feel. Reach out to somebody, show somebody love, and most of all, come back and see us again next week. My man, Matt J, what you got to say for the people before we get out of here?
So we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be out again this year to commentate the celebrity versus veteran softball game in April with the Texas Veterans Athletic Association. I just linked their website into the chat. Just encourage anybody that's out there, if you know some businesses in the Houston area that are looking to get involved in something, they're still looking for a couple sponsors to make this event go well. They got a good list of celebrities coming out. We'll be there. We're going to commentate. We're going to be on the sideline. We're going to be hanging out, so that's going to be good. If you like beer, this Saturday in Katy, Texas, at Typhoon, Texas, as a matter of fact, Got Your Six is going to be at the Wild West Brew Fest. So come see us. We'll have a table out there. We'll have a tent. You can go in there and pay a little bit of money and drink some beer from these amazing craft breweries that are all over the state of Texas. And just everybody have a great week. We'll see you guys soon.
Yes, my brother. My man, TY, I want you to go ahead and wax poetic for me one time, my man. Yeah.
It was great to have Warriors to Racers on. I love getting to know Tana and Mr. Ed. It's always good to hear different avenues that veterans can, kind of go down in order to get some of that high risk, high reward, good therapy, and also learning maybe a new craft and still working with a team. I love it. We're going to continue to do it, tell the veterans stories of success. Love everyone that's listening. Thank you so much. I want to shout out the Sunrise, Florida Police Department. Y'all's social media is on point. I love what y'all are doing. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yep. And I'm going to go ahead and say the words of my man, Al Hero, since he's not with us today. But he will tell you, don't sweat the petty stuff. Pet the sweaty stuff. Make that make sense and keep it going. I'm your man, DJ Royalty. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. It's another episode. You guys were here. We were here, and we had a good time. We had some great guests. Shouts out again to my man, Ed and Tana. We appreciate what you do. Until I see you again, make your next day your best day. All right? And if you don't like something, fix it. What you gonna do about it? Huh? We out of here. Peace.